fans particularly. Actually, I feel quite close to Coach Freeze. He was my son's 10th grade geometry teacher at Briarcrest. Coach, tell everyone the sum of the angles in an isosceles triangle. Excellent. Just a few things. First of all, Cal in Hawaii opened the 2016 football season in Sydney, Australia this Friday night at 9 Central Time. The kickoff is actually Saturday noon Sydney time. If there's a Vandy graduate at your table, ask them to explain it to you. Bill Harper is looking for a group to get together for the Sydney Cup or watch party. But the first real college football game is still 10 days away, so there's not too much to report. As a South Carolina fan and a Vanderbilt season ticket holder, I expect to look back on the next week and a half as the best part of my 2016 season. I have 3 or 4 observations and notes. Besides, I want to leave plenty of time for Coach Freeze's presentation. First, there seems to be a hiring pattern developing in the SEC East. 4 years ago, it was Butch Jones at Tennessee. Of course, Vol fans say you can't spell Butch without UT. Last year, it was South Carolina hiring Will Muschamp. And Gamecock fans point out you can't spell Muschamp without USC. Finally, Kirby Smart was hired at Georgia, where most Bulldog fans can't spell. Dave Hart is retiring early as UT Athletic Director next June 30, 2017. Despite a near perfect 4 weeks with no new sexual harassment lawsuits filed against the athletic department. Tony Barnhart talked last week about the new rule for video replay in the conference. There are some other new rules in college football, and I know how all of you thirst for knowledge, so I thought perhaps we could go through some of those tonight. First of all, one new rule you'll find interesting: tripping the ball carrier is now illegal and will be penalized. FYI, tipping the ball carrier has always been illegal, but not necessarily always penalized. Also, a runner who has given himself up is now considered defenseless. And if a defender makes forcible contact to the head or neck of the player, the defender will be ejected for the balance of the game and a 15-yard penalty assessed. This rule should not be confused with the give yourself up command heard by so many former SEC players after their college careers. Another new rule: a head coach will now be ejected if he collects 2 unsportsmanlike conduct fouls during a game. This should be a great opportunity for SEC assistants at several schools to get some valuable head coaching experience. I want to ask Coach Freeze about one new rule that came into the NCAA rule book last year. Beginning with the 2015 season, non-standard overbuilt face masks became illegal. Did that face mask Larry Tunsil was shown wearing on NFL draft night comply with the new rule, or was it somehow grandfathered in? One bit of news about the Rebel Bears before I make way for Coach Freeze. On Friday, the University of Mississippi announced that Dixie will no longer be played at football games. The Ole Miss athletic department has asked that the Rebel Band create a new and modern pregame show that is more inclusive to all Rebel fans. I've been thinking about a couple of other songs that might be good replacements for Dixie and highlight the spirit of the Rebel Bears. Coach Freeze, maybe you could pass a couple of these ideas along to the band director for me. How about the Yogi Bear theme? It's got a catchy tune that always reminds me of the Alabama fight song. Maybe different lyrics could be substituted for the part of the song that goes, "That's because he's smarter than the average bear." Something like, "Rebel bears are smarter than the..." Oh well, maybe somebody in the botany department can come up with something. Or maybe that's not such a good alternative to Dixie. I do have one other idea. There is a very peppy song, kind of an oldie, by the Bobby Fuller Four that might be even more appropriate for the Rebel Bears at this point in time. How about "I Fought the Law and the Law Won"? Thank you.